Welcome back. You're listening to The Social View on NBC 1260. You can either listen on your dial to 1260 AM, you can listen on the FM dial 96.1, or you can check us out on the live video feed. So if you go to NBC1260.com, you can actually get a sneak peek into the studio. Here we are, and we always wave to the people that are watching us. And if you can read lips, then you're able to see what's going on in the studio behind the scenes during the commercial break. We're having a lot of fun in here. Actually, the principal is having a lot of fun in here. So we've been talking about Arizona Collegiate High School, which is a high school that's really using technology, and they're really using their resources to get creative and help high school students be successful. I'm going to start with Brandon, because I'm going to start with Kevin, because Kevin, you first heard of this school. So tell us how you heard of the school.
Where I first heard of it was my aunt. She came up to me and she's like, "Hey, I heard this ad on the radio." And she's like, "You get a free laptop if you go to the school 95 days out of 100, and if you have all passing grades." I was like, that sounds pretty easy. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. So. And
at that point in time, so you were a junior then, correct?
Yes.
So at that point in time, what had your school experience been like?
My previous schools, I wasn't doing so well in school. I was kind of Fs. I had Fs in school. But when I came to this school, the teachers helped me out. They stayed after class to help me. They did everything possible to help me, and right now my last report card was straight A's.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, I got to tell you, I was one of those kids in high school that really struggled. My favorite class was art class. What's your favorite class?
I would have to say science.
Science. Now, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to go into the medical field. I want to help people. I want to become. My main goal, I would say, become a doctor. But other alternatives would be an X-ray technician or a nurse.
And prior to coming to this school, what was your outlook? What did you think you wanted to do?
I was thinking about going into something with computers, like a computer programmer or something to do with the computer.
All great fields.
Yeah.
For a lot of success. So you're going into now. This I found really interesting. You had never played on any school sports, is that correct?
True.
What happened at ACHS?
Well, I got the opportunity to play soccer, basketball, ultimate frisbee, and they were all lots of fun. The soccer one, I was the goalie, and we actually drove that to Arizona. What was it, state? Second in the state. Basketball, we weren't doing so well, but, it was a lot of fun, connecting with the students that were there. And ultimate frisbee, I have never heard of the sport before this school, and people didn't seem really interested into it, and I kind of threw myself in it, and I really loved it. I tried to bring all my friends into it, and they seemed to enjoy it too, and they tried to pull everybody else in. So, yeah.
You also you played piano, and you had never played piano before?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Piano was a little nerve-wracking because we had to play recitals in front of the parents and stuff like that. So other than that, I really like playing the piano. I didn't know I could play the piano, but yeah.
That's very cool.
We try to provide a lot of opportunities for our students in the form of fine arts, foreign language, sports. Math and reading obviously are extremely important in our climate right now, but providing those other opportunities to students really shows them the joy. And Kevin would have never been able to second in the state. We made it all the way to the finals with a goalie who had never played soccer before.
That's amazing.
And who really grasped onto it. And if I can brag about him for a second, it's not just playing in front of parents. I mean, this guy was concert ready by the end of the year, and he was not only playing in front of parents, but I remember back to high school, I think it was harder to play in front of students, play in front of your friends. And he did that multiple times and just plays beautifully. And those are the kind of opportunities that we like to show students. It's a little tough in the beginning because, students, especially boys, don't want to put themselves out there like that. But throughout the end of the year, once that confidence gains and they start to see that success, they really want to show those skills off. They want to be able to display that. And that's exactly what we saw with Kevin.
Wow. I see girls that have a hard time putting themselves out there too. So that's not just a boy thing. Girls have a hard time doing that also. Now, sorry, didn't mean to. Yeah, actually I did mean to. All right. So Brandon, you graduated last year, 2012, graduating senior. What was that experience at this new high school like for you?
Well, it was very different from any other school that I've ever been to because this school, it's very small. And from all the other schools I've been to, they've all been really large schools, and therefore, teachers had to deal with more kids. And now that I've attended this school, the teachers, they have more time to tutor other students and help them to grasp certain concepts if they haven't, done so in the classroom.
What were your grades like at your last school?
Well, at my previous schools, I was just barely passing.
Okay.
And just making mostly C's and everything. I really didn't have so much of a motivation to really do really well in school. And now that I've moved to this school, my grades have skyrocketed. I've gotten pretty much straight A's this entire year, and I'm so proud of myself.
Congratulations. Now, prior to coming to ACHS, you wanted to, what was it you wanted to be when you grew up? What were you thinking? What were you leaning towards?
Well, back, before I, joined with ACHS, I was thinking about becoming a massage therapist.
Okay.
It seemed like, real simple way where I could, go out and, go to school for a few years and just have a career in that. But moving to this school, it allowed me to really broaden my horizons, to really think about what I could really do with myself in the future. And
so now what are you thinking about doing?
Well, now my biggest dream right now is to become an astrophysicist. I've always wondered, what it's like out there in the universe, and I want to explore everything out there.
So this school completely changed your vision, essentially.
Yes, it did. Quite so.
Now, I know that you earned the governing board award.
Yeah, that was totally unexpected. I did not expect at all to receive any such award upon my graduation. When I received it, I was so shocked and flabbergasted. I didn't even know that they had an award for such a thing.
Well, when I learned this, I didn't even know what this was. So, and Principal Dunbar explained that this was the equivalent of the Valedictorian?
Yes, Brandon showed that he had the top academic ability in his graduating class. So that award we call the Governing Board Award. I still remember meeting Brandon last summer at one of our open house community events, and he was kind of showing those same things. He was personable, he was nice, but he wasn't really driven to do much. And in speaking with his family had amazing stories, especially his grandfather. I remember talking to him about some of the engineering and some of the things that he did, and I was looking at Brandon and I was like, so tell me about this massage stuff. What's this all about? Because I think you can, that's a great that's great for people who do that, obviously, and there's a lot of benefit, and I certainly like getting those as well.
Yeah.
But for Brandon, we just saw more potential for him than that, and we really pushed him to do more with himself. And we definitely acknowledged the massage therapy. We said that's always going to be there. Mm-hmm. You can always do that. But let's start thinking a little bit bigger. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? Let's fast forward when you have kids. What do you want to have for them? And really starting to identify certain programs at ASU that could connect with him and show him there is that pathway that I was talking about earlier. We say, what are you interested in? There's these kind of fields in that, and then show him a way to do that. And if I can for a moment talk about Brandon was our first student that we actually sent to college. We actually paid for him to start taking college classes at Phoenix College, which is right down the road from us, which is something another thing that our school offers, because we can start to expose students to different fields. I believe he took an accounting class, is what it was.
Yes.
And we exposed him to those different opportunities, and at the same time was able to give him high school credit. And now that he's going to be starting college, that's one less class that he himself is going to have to pay for. And as you can hear, he hasn't brought up accounting yet, so he learned that maybe that might not be the way to go, which is very valuable, because I remember back when I did this, it took me, my first 2 years to realize what I wanted to do.
Well, and I remember being a high school student, and the thought of going to college, that seemed a little bit scary. So to be in high school and kind of, dip your foot in the pool water, if you will, and to feel what college is about, and that it is fun and it is exciting.
Yeah, that's also what made the school so different, because back at my other high school, they offered, dual enrollment courses, but it never really allowed the students to really go to the college itself and feel what it's like to be in a college atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And this school, they completely paid for all of my college courses. At my other school, we had to pay for it ourselves.
Wow. I have to say, I applaud the school. I applaud you, because when you have just in talking to you, you are clearly a very bright, very intelligent young man, and I agree. I think you might have been selling yourself short to say I'm just going to be a massage therapist. And I know I'm going to get messages from people that are massage therapists, and you're going to come. Go ahead.
That's
fine.
not the message.
But the thing is, you have your God-given talents, and when you're not using what God gave you, you got to do something about that. And I can say that because it's my show. All right, we are going to go to the break. We'll be back in 2 minutes, and we're going to learn more about these students, this school. I want to learn how Principal Dunbar came to this school. They've only been a school for a year. You're going into your second school year and already making some huge impact in the community. I am Christina Wagner. This is The Social View, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.